go ahead and solve some proportions using cross multiplication. This allows me to see if the cross products are equal, then the ratios are proportional. So 6 times x is 6x. 9 times 10 is 90. Essentially, I'm saying 6 times some number equals 90. Let's check and see if that's true. We're going to divide both sides of this equation by 6. That way I can isolate the variable. 6 divided by 6 will get x alone. And now we're going to go ahead and divide 90 by 6. Now, when I divide, I'm going to use the long division algorithm. 6 can go into 9 one time, and I multiply the difference between 9 and 6 is 3. Drop down that 0, and I have 30. Now I know that 5 groups of 6 can give me to 30, so my answer is 15. X equals 15. This we can check and see if it's true. Is 6 times 15 90? It sure is. So we got it right. These two proportions are equal. Let's try this next one. Again, using cross multiplication, 8 times n is 8n. And then 10 times 10 equals 100. Now we know that 8n equals 100. Let's go ahead and isolate that variable n by dividing both sides of the equation by 8. 8 divided by 8 will cancel out that 8, so I'm left with n. And now we're just going to go ahead and use that long division algorithm to divide 100 by 8. We'll drop that 100 into that division symbol, and 8 is outside. It's my divisor. 8 can go into 10 one time. 1 times 8 is 8, with a difference of 2. Let's drop that next 0, and that's 20. How many groups of 8 go into 20? It's 2. 2 times 8 is 16. Find the difference, 4. No more numbers left, so the next part of my answer is going to be a decimal. It's less than 1. Add that decimal into 0, and now I know that 5 groups of 8 will give me 40. So my answer is 12 and a half. Super duper. We can still check it and see if it's correct. Remember our original equation, which was that 8 times 12 and a half equals 100. Let's go ahead and break that number apart. 8 times 12 will get me to 96, and 8 times a half, or 1/2 of 8, is 4. And I know that 96 plus 4 equals 100, so these ratios are proportional. We did it! All right, let's go ahead and try this one. Now we have n times 8, which is 8n, and 7 times 7, which is 49. Let's isolate that variable, dividing both sides of the equation by 8. 8 divided by 8 is 1, and 49 divided by 8. Let's go ahead and do the long division algorithm. We're going to drop 49 into my division symbol, and we'll divide by 8. Now, I know that I can fit at least 6 groups of 8 into 48 because 6 times 8 is 48. And the difference is 1. This part of the answer is going to be the decimal, the fraction, the part of the whole, whatever you want to call it. It's the number that is less than 1. Add that decimal in 0, and I can fit 1 group of 8 into 10 with a difference of 2. Add another 0, and let's see how many groups of 8 can fit to 20. That's 2. 2 times 8 is 16 with a difference of 4. Add that third 0. How many groups of 8 can fit into 40? It's 5. 5 times 8 is 40, so my answer is 6 and 125 thousandths. That's a mouthful. Now let's try another problem. Notice that this problem, this proportion, has a variable, and I'm going to still use the same method of cross multiplication. So 7 times 5 is 35, and then I have 10 times b plus 5. I'm going to use a distributive property here. 10 times b is 10b. 10 times 5 is 50. So now I have a two-step equation. On one side of the equation, I have 35. On the other side, I have equals 10b plus 50. I'm going to try to put all the constants on one side, so I'll subtract 50 from both sides of the equation. It's going to give me a negative number, right? 35 minus 50 is 15. And on the other side of the equation, I'm left with 10b. Now I can go ahead and isolate that variable by dividing both sides by 10, and 10 divided by 10 is 1, so I'm left with negative 15 over 10. Let's go ahead and simplify this fraction by dividing it by the greatest common factor, which is 5. 15 divided by 5 is, you got it, 3. And 10 divided by 5 is 2. So my answer is negative 3 over 2. Great job!